What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to this Anfield Agenda Champions League draw reaction. The Reds now know the potential pathway through to the final at the Allianz Arena in Munich. I'm going to go through and give you my thoughts on the draw, as well as giving you a bit more insight on exactly how it will pan out between now and the final taking place in Munich. As we go through it, we'd love to know your thoughts, so do let us know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, and of course don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So look, let me start off by bringing a graphic up on screen for you. There we go. So this is what happened today. Liverpool came out on the left-hand side of the draw, the silver side of the draw, and they've been drawn to take on Paris Saint-Germain in the last 16. We knew it was going to be either one of PSG or Benfica, and Liverpool and Barcelona will have also been kept apart in the draw. Barca on the right-hand side now, I think it's called the blue side, Liverpool on the left-hand side, the silver side, and we'll work through it. So we do have PSG coming up first, and those games are going to be 4th/5th of March, and then the second leg's 11th and 12th of March. We do know that Liverpool will be travelling over to Paris for the first leg, with the second leg taking place at Anfield. Now, if you look down through the draw, you'll see how it pans out. If Liverpool do get past Paris Saint-Germain, which, let's be honest, I think we might. It is going to be a difficult enough game, by the way. Don't get me wrong. I know they just beat Brest by 10 goals to nil on aggregate, but I think we're too good for them. But then again, I would say that, right? So anyway, we get past PSG. Then you look down and you see we've either got Club Brugge or we've got Aston Villa. So it's either going to be Simon Mignolet and Club Brugge or Club Brugge, or Aston Villa. Now, the interesting thing about that quarter-final would be that the second leg would be at Villa Park or in Bruges Stadium. So if Liverpool get through, we'd have the first leg of the quarter-final at Anfield, and the second leg would then be at either Villa Park or at Bruges Stadium. Then it gets very interesting. I know, stick with me. If we were to get through that tie as well, then you'd have a semi-final against either Arsenal, PSV Eindhoven, or either of the two Madrid clubs. And the good thing there, the second leg for Liverpool would be at Anfield. So whether it's Arsenal, PSV, Real or Atleti, second leg of that semi-final would of course then be at Anfield. And you would hope that that would give us as good a chance as possible if we get that far to make it through to Munich. On the other side of the draw, it ended up that it's Benfica against Barcelona, then Borussia Dortmund against Lille, Bayern Munich, and then all German tie against Leverkusen. And then it's Arne Slot's old side, Feyenoord, taking on Inter Milan. And as you can see, the dates there are also put on the screen. They're probably a little bit too small for you to read. So as I mentioned, the round of 16 ties taking place 4th and 5th and 11th and 12th of March. The quarter-final ties, which would see us play either Bruges or Villa, will take place on either the 8th or 9th of April, with the second legs on the 15th and 16th of April. The semi-finals then, if we're lucky enough to get that far, 29th and 30th of April, and the second leg of the semi-final 6th or 7th of May, and the final then, of course, on the 31st of May at the Allianz Arena in Munich. So, I know Liverpool fans are feeling a little bit frustrated with the draw and the way it worked out. I'm excited about it. If you're going to win a European Cup, if you're going to win a Champions League, then you got to be getting past some good teams on the way. We know Manchester City have been knocked out of it. So for us, the pathway, that's not the worst draw in the world. Genuinely, if you can get there and we end up beating, let's say, PSG, Villa and Arsenal, one of the Madrid clubs, that's a difficult enough route through, yes. But on the other side, it wouldn't be a cakewalk either. You've obviously got Borussia Dortmund in there. You've got the two German clubs. And don't forget, Munich will be trying to make it to the final, which will be at their home stadium. And then, of course, you've got Inter Milan as well. So it was always going to be rather difficult, but I'm excited by it. You know, I want Liverpool to be involved in the big European ties, and there's certainly some really interesting ones. Let's play it through. If we get Villa, well, then we're going to want revenge, aren't we, for that 2-2 draw at Villa Park. We're going to want to make sure that we progress through, and then a potential semi-final against one of the Madrid clubs or Arsenal, maybe. That's exciting stuff as well. I mean, I'm buzzing for this, ladies and gents. I really am. I think this is a decent draw, but we know the pathway through. Everything has been mapped out now, as promised, and we should know what we need to do to get to Munich. So that's the Champions League draw reaction. Now do let me know your thoughts. I'm buzzing for this one. I think we'll have too much for PSG, as I mentioned. I know that they dealt with Brest easily, but I think they'll come unstuck against Liverpool. And if we get through that, and again, I'd have us as favourites against Aston Villa or Bruges. But reminder again, the second leg of that would be away from home, making it a little bit more difficult. So let's move on to a couple of other bits of Liverpool news today, and one of them around a potential transfer, which is Costello LUKEBA. This piece here from Christian Falk said Liverpool have Costello LUKEBA on their radar, and he has a £74.5 million release clause, which is, well, a lot of money, isn't it? This piece here from Anfield Buzz said Liverpool could potentially play Arsenal in the Champions League semi-final second leg at Anfield on the 7th of May. 3 days later, on the 10th of May, Liverpool will play Arsenal at Anfield in the Premier League title clash. That could be an absolutely crazy week, as they pointed out, and it could. Kieran Maguire put out a post today around what's going on at Manchester United, and it just makes the situation even more laughable, really. So, The Telegraph put out a piece to say, exclusive, Manchester United staff threatened with the sack if they leak information. And then Kieran Maguire posts to say, and Kieran Maguire, by the way, is a football finance expert, works at the University of Liverpool, I believe, said, in a leaked email, Manchester United CEO, so their CEO, threatened staff with the sack if they leak emails and other information. I find this really funny. They're going in, they're slashing costs, they're sacking people left, right and centre, and then they're kind of having the gall to be upset with people who are leaking this information. If you want to own this, if you want to be that club, then it's going to get out. Own it. You want to make these cuts, own the cuts that you're making and explain to the fans why. Let's talk about Mohamed Salah for a second. He's been speaking a little bit about whether he's still in contact with Jurgen Klopp or not. And he said, yes, more than before. We've been messaging a lot in the past few months. He asked about my family, congratulated me on our games and for reaching the final. He also told me when he'll be coming here next. So maybe a little reunion there, a little dinner out maybe for Mo and the former gaffer. And speaking about Erling Braut Haaland, this is what Mohamed Salah had to say. Now remember, we're playing Manchester City on Sunday at 4:30, and at the moment Haaland is a bit of a doubt for that game. He said, I respect him a lot. He's a striker, so his life is a bit easier. For a winger to have such a record is quite difficult. Every winger can confirm that, so I see it differently between us because he's a striker and I'm a winger. And credit to Sky Sports Germany for that interview. So look, ladies and gentlemen, we now know where we're at. Now, if you didn't join us last night, there was a story breaking really late from a really prominent Egyptian journalist that said that he'd seen Mohamed Salah's contract offer from Liverpool and it was less, in fact, a lot less than the current contract that he's on now. So that's probably why we haven't seen Mohamed Salah sign a new deal, because as many of us had guessed, it seems like the club are lowballing these guys. And if Mohamed Salah's been offered not just less, but a lot less than he's currently on, why would he sign it? Now, you could say to me, Craig, I don't believe that's true. But nobody's come out to deny it yet. None of the English-based journalists that I've seen have come out to pour cold water on it. So, you know, I'll take a credible Egyptian journalist and his thoughts on it over silence. But I want to know what you think. I'm frustrated by it. Last night, a lot of people were frustrated. Accused the owners. We'll talk about it more tonight. 8:45 for the late night agenda. It will be the last one, or the last live stream till Sunday for the watch along, because I'm taking tomorrow off, and the preview for the Manchester City game will come out tomorrow, so do keep an eye out for that one. Until then, thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the draw, and we'll catch you tonight at 8:45. Much love. Bye bye.